Have you ever met someone by chance, only for them to become the most important person in your life? What if the person you were meant to spend forever with was once just a stranger passing by? In this heartwarming journey of love, we'll take you through the story of Emily and Liam, two souls whose paths crossed in the most unexpected way. From fleeting glances in a cozy cafe to deep, soul-stirring conversations, their love story is a powerful reminder that sometimes love finds us when we least expect it. If you believe in the magic of fate and the beauty of unexpected connections, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you never miss a moment of these unforgettable love stories. Get ready to dive into a tale of destiny, trust, and the power of love. From strangers to soulmates. It was the kind of morning that felt like the world was on pause. The cafe was warm, a contrast to the chilly rain outside. Emily walked in, the scent of fresh coffee and baked goods wrapping around her like a comforting blanket. She had her usual seat by the window, the perfect spot to watch the world move while she enjoyed her morning peace. It was one of those mornings where nothing seemed special, yet everything felt right. Liam walked in shortly after, drenched from the rain. He was the kind of person who didn't mind the downpour, who wore a smile even when the world seemed grey. Their eyes met for a split second, just long enough for Emily to notice the twinkle in his gaze. But then he turned away and ordered his coffee. It was nothing out of the ordinary, just another stranger passing by, or so she thought. Weeks passed. The cafe became their shared space, though they never exchanged a word. Emily would see him at his usual table, absorbed in his book or tapping away at his laptop. There was a quiet comfort in their unspoken routine, a sense of connection even without words. She didn't know much about him, just that he had this warmth about him, something magnetic that she couldn't quite put her finger on. It was one cold afternoon when everything changed. Emily had just taken a sip from her cup when her phone rang. In the rush of reaching for it, she knocked her coffee over, spilling it across the table and into her lap. Flustered and embarrassed, she stood up, trying to salvage the mess. Before she could fully react, Liam appeared out of nowhere, a napkin in hand. "Hey, are you all right?" His voice was calm, yet there was an undeniable sincerity in it. She laughed nervously, trying to clean up the mess. "I'm such a disaster, I didn't mean to." "No worries, it happens to the best of us." Liam smiled, his eyes lighting up with an easygoing charm. "Here, let me help." Their eyes met for a brief second. Something lingered between them, an unspoken connection. Emily had no idea what it was, but she felt it. That tiny spark of recognition that told her maybe, just maybe, this was the start of something new. "I'm Liam," he said, offering her a hand. "Emily," she replied, shaking it. The conversation was casual, friendly even, but something in her chest fluttered as their hands briefly touched. Over the next few weeks, Emily found herself returning to the cafe at the same time every day, not just for the coffee, but because Liam had somehow become a part of her routine. They exchanged small pleasantries, talked about the weather, the books they were reading, even the mundane details of their day-to-day lives. But with each passing conversation, it felt like something deeper was forming between them. Emily found herself opening up in ways she hadn't with anyone in a long time. With Liam, it felt easy. He listened, genuinely interested, and never judged. As their conversations grew longer, she began to realize that she looked forward to seeing him more than she would like to admit. Liam too began to feel the pull. At first it was just an innocent curiosity. He was drawn to Emily's quiet confidence, the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about her passions. But over time, the connection between them shifted. It wasn't just about sharing thoughts anymore. It was about sharing space, about knowing without words that there was something more. And then, one evening, things took a sudden turn. Emily had just finished her shift and was on her way to the cafe when she saw Liam in the parking lot, standing by his car, talking to a woman. Emily's heart sank. The woman was laughing, her hand lightly resting on Liam's arm, and his smile was warm, like it always was. But this time, Emily felt something unfamiliar, a stab of jealousy. The woman looked familiar, like someone from his past. They spoke in low tones, their conversation flowing easily, as if they had known each other for years. Emily froze, her chest tight. She couldn't shake the feeling that maybe, just maybe, this was someone important. The spark that had been between them seemed to flicker uncertainly, replaced by doubt. "Hey, Emily!" Liam's voice cut through her thoughts, and she turned to find him walking towards her, his face brightening up as he saw her. "I didn't expect you today. Everything all right?" Emily tried to smile, but it felt forced. "Yeah, I was just passing by." He looked over her shoulder. "Oh, that's Claire," he said casually, introducing the woman. "We used to work together a while ago," but Emily couldn't shake the feeling. "It's nice to meet you," she said, her voice clipped. As the evening went on, Emily couldn't stop thinking about Liam and Claire. Why hadn't he mentioned her before? Why did it feel like something was left unsaid? That night, as she lay in bed, her mind raced. Was Liam hiding something? Was there more to their connection than he was letting on? The next day, Liam and Emily met again at the cafe. There was an awkward tension in the air, and Emily couldn't hold back her feelings any longer. "Liam," she said, her voice steady but filled with emotion. "What's going on between you and Claire?" Liam's face faltered for a moment. "Emily, I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't want to complicate things between us, but I can see you're upset and I can't ignore that." He took a deep breath. "Claire is an old friend, yes, but it's not what you think. We were close once, but that chapter of my life ended long ago. I've been trying to move on from my past, but with you, it feels different. I've been scared to let anyone in because I didn't want to repeat old mistakes." Emily's heart softened as she heard the vulnerability in his voice. "I didn't mean to doubt you," she whispered, her eyes filled with regret. I didn't want to lose what we have." Liam reached out, gently taking her hand. "You won't lose me, Emily. I'm here. If you'll let me, I want to explore this, us, everything we've been building. I don't want to let fear stop me anymore." Emily looked into his eyes, and for the first time, the weight of her doubt lifted. It wasn't about the past or the uncertainty. It was about the now and the courage to take the next step. "I'm ready, Liam," she said softly, her voice trembling with the rawness of the moment. "I'm ready to trust this." Their hands intertwined, and the connection between them deepened. The unspoken fears and doubts had been cleared, leaving only the truth of what they shared. Two people standing on the edge of something beautiful. The journey of a lifetime. As the weeks passed, Emily and Liam's connection only grew stronger. They had faced their doubts, their fears, and their pasts. But now, they were no longer just two strangers in a cafe. They were a team, two souls who had found each other amidst the chaos of life. Their relationship wasn't perfect, and it never would be, but it was real. It was raw, and above all, it was worth fighting for. Every day they discovered new things about each other, things that made them laugh, things that made them pause, and things that made their hearts beat just a little faster. Liam would surprise Emily with little gestures, a hand-written note left on her desk, a favourite song shared over coffee. Emily would challenge Liam, pushing him to confront his past, to face his fears and to believe in the kind of love he had always thought was out of reach. Their love wasn't about grand declarations or sweeping gestures. It was in the quiet moments, the way their fingers would brush under the table, the way they would smile at each other from across the room, the shared silence that spoke louder than any words ever could. And in the end, it wasn't just about the happy moments or the sweet kisses or the promises they made. It was about the journey they had taken together. From strangers to soulmates, there was no other way to describe it. The road ahead might not always be easy, but they knew they would walk it hand in hand together. Because when you find someone who truly understands you, who loves you in the quiet and the chaos, you know that the journey, no matter how uncertain, is always worth it. The story doesn't end here. And so, as Emily and Liam's love story continues to unfold, it reminds us that sometimes the most beautiful relationships are the ones that begin unexpectedly. They prove that love isn't always about perfect timing or grand gestures. Sometimes it's about the quiet moments, the unspoken connection, and the willingness to take a leap of faith. If you've ever found yourself in a relationship that makes you question everything you thought you knew about love, then you know that love has a way of surprising you when you least expect it. Just like Emmy, if you've ever found yourself in a relationship that makes you question everything you thought you knew about love, then you know that love has a way of surprising you when you least expect it. Just like Emily and Liam, we all have a journey to take. Some paths are clear while others are full of twists and turns. But what matters is who we choose to walk them with. Remember, every stranger you meet has a story, and sometimes that story could be the one that changes your life forever. Thank you for joining Emily and Liam on their journey. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that remind us that love is always worth the risk.